Everyone dreamt of having a companion in their old age. But the person who would have grown old with me had long since passed away, and here I was, at 70. My body was still spry. I could hike 2 mountains back to back without breaking a sweat. My mindset was youthful, too. I spent my days scrolling through my phone at home. Encouraged by the beauty industry and some of those younger ladies, I decided to get some work done. When I woke up, I felt like I'd turned back the clock 30 years. On the day I was discharged, my 3 sons came to pick me up. My eldest, Ryan Fleming, couldn't stop praising me. My middle son, Steve Fleming, gave me a thumbs up, his pride evident. And then there was my youngest, Barry Fleming, daringly teasing me, "Mom, you look younger than I do now." Hearing that made my heart swell with joy. I caught a glimpse of my youthful face in the car window's reflection and couldn't help but clap my hands in delight. But while my sons knew about my transformation, my old friends had no idea. It took several weeks of mental preparation and letting my new look settle before I felt ready to face the world again. The moment I stepped out into the spotlight was on my 70th birthday, and that was when my nightmare began. Determined to keep my spirited attitude and embrace activities that only the young would dare to try, I decided to shake things up. I abandoned the usual dinner gatherings and threw a party at my house, inviting friends and family to celebrate. On the day of the party, my sons seemed to have coordinated their efforts, each bringing along their wives or partners. The MC read heartfelt messages, champagne flowed freely, and the atmosphere was electric. The number of people continued to rise, and among them, more and more middle-aged single men were appearing, providing ample opportunities for me to socialize. As I sat in the guest of honor seat, a parade of handsome and not-so-handsome men, tall and short, passed by me. I thought surely I'd find someone who caught my eye. But then the lights flickered. Ryan's wife, Kaylee Pratt, leaned against the couch, her glass of wine in hand, her gaze hazy and unfocused. That look in her eyes was all too familiar. It reminded me of how I used to look at my late husband. But then, to my shock, Kaylee suddenly said to my son, looking at me, "Ryan, I don't love you anymore." "What?" Ryan exclaimed, stunned. "I don't love you anymore." Ryan gripped his wine glass tightly, and I widened my eyes in disbelief. Though most of the guests were family, I silently wished, let's pretend we didn't hear that. Alanis Carell, my middle son's wife, who'd never gotten along with Kaylee, seized the moment. "Kaylee, do you even realize what you just said?" I chimed in, "Kaylee, you..." But Kaylee cut me off, her eyes sparkling with affection as she stood in front of me. "Mom, you know what? I love you. And I just want to..." Ignoring Alanis, Kaylee continued, "Mom, I want to hug you. I love you so much." I awkwardly smiled and opened my arms, embracing Kaylee like a gentleman. I could feel her hugging me tighter and tighter, to the point where it felt like my ribs were about to snap. I had to twist away. And now my back was killing me. "Ow, Kaylee, that's enough." I winced, trying to pry her off me. But Kaylee wouldn't let go. To everyone else, it looked like a heartfelt reunion between old friends. I waved my hand, trying to rouse my dazed son. "Ryan, Kaylee's drunk. Shouldn't you take her home to rest?" Ryan nodded, a mix of frustration and confusion on his face, and he hoisted Kaylee over his shoulder. As they stumbled away, I felt my face burn with embarrassment while the guests looked on in bewilderment. Their expressions were a mix of shock and disbelief, lingering until the party finally came to an end. I sat there like a zombie, unable to wrap my head around the fact that my son's wife could harbor such twisted feelings toward me. Feelings that bordered on obsession. During this surreal moment, some well-meaning souls even patted my shoulder, offering words of encouragement. "Hang in there," they said, trying to offer support.